In this video, I'm going to go through the materials prep for lesson 3 of unit C1. So in this lesson, we have a carbon dioxide investigation. And so you will see there's some handouts that I've linked for you. Hopefully they're in your own Google Drive as well. But the first one is a carbon dioxide investigation. This is going to be what is completed as you plan the investigation with students, identifying those dependent and independent variables and kind of coming up with what the data table will look like. And then you've got the CO2 investigation procedure. So this will need to be one per student, but this will need to be used at the stations as they conduct the investigation. You will see that there's also a reading, and so this happens after the carbon dioxide investigation. So each student will also need one of these. Now, as far as the materials prep, I've linked this in the window below. This just talks about the handouts that you need. There's also an anchor chart that you will make. It looks like this. This is helping them set up on their handout the data table. So identifying the independent, dependent variables. We're also defining them and earning these terms. You can see right here that these are all the terms that are earned in this lesson. Those variable terms, as well as concentration, mixture, solution, greenhouse effect, and greenhouse gases. So there's a lot of vocab in this lesson. One strategy, and this is suggested in the teacher guide, is that students will create a personal glossary in their notebook. And as you kind of come up with these definitions, you're recording them on the poster. Students are recording them in their personal glossary in their notebooks. We're really introducing the greenhouse effect in this lesson with the carbon dioxide investigation. You can see here are the group sizes. It says you need 3 heat lamp stations. I will say more is better. If you can get more heat lamps, they say groups of 5 to 10, but really students are going to not have a lot to do if the groups are groups of 10. But you're going to set up stations with heat lamps. It's going to look like this. Now, I will say that this lab can be a little temperamental. And so we have tried different ways of putting the bottles, glass bottles, plastic bottles, in front of these heat lamps. And even the slightest position to the right or the left really changes the temperature difference between the bottles. So let's say this is the one with no Alka-Seltzer tablets in it, regular air, no additional carbon dioxide. Even just a little bit to the right or a little bit to the left, the temperatures will vary. There's going to be 3 different stations. One will be regular air, one will be low CO2, one will be high CO2. Now, they do suggest using 2 Alka-Seltzer tablets for the low CO2 and 4 Alka-Seltzer tablets for the high CO2. That can be too much. One issue that we've had is having the carbon dioxide leak out of this area right here. We've tried using parafilm. We've tried using different things to seal this. They say use clay. And so you'll see if I go back up here, one of the materials is a stick of modeling clay. So what it's suggested is you use clay to put the thermometer through, and then you push that clay through the top bottle opening, and then you wrap plastic wrap around it and then secure that with rubber bands. It works, but it is pretty hard not to get some leakage of CO2. So 4 Alka-Seltzer tablets is going to have quite a bit of pressure in there. 2 might work a little bit better and have your low be 1 tablet, high be 2 tablets. But you're going to have to play around a little bit and see what works best for you. Just know that if this does not go perfect, you can always say, here's the intended results that we were trying to get, and then show some sample data. I will say maybe one class will work better than another class, and so you can use that period's data. But this really is temperamental. So make sure that each plastic bottle is exactly the same distance. You might want to use a marker or a tape on the lab station to show where the bottle goes, to show where the edge of the heat lamp goes, because the distance and the direction or the angle in which that bottle is to that heat lamp is very, very important. But it's worth doing, and it's worth going, hands-on opportunity for students. So definitely get going on this, but just know that there's a lot of variables that are very, very picky. All right. Think about how you're going to prep for this lab, what materials you got to get up, post what you're going to do to get ready. Maybe you make a data table and print it out for students to save a little bit of time. I guess it's in their handout, but whatever you need to do, post it to help everyone else figure out what they're going to do. And good luck with this lesson.